the most annoying neighbor ever, and how I got my payback. There are few things I enjoy more than my early morning walks in the park. The air is still cool, the sun peeks gently over the horizon, and for a brief moment every day, life feels simple. No buzzing phones, no noisy neighbors, no chaos. Just me, my coffee, and the sound of leaves rustling under my sneakers. I live across the street from a medium-sized public park, one of those well-kept places with a running trail, a small duck pond, benches under big oak trees, and a playground for kids. It's peaceful, or at least it was peaceful. Then came her. The woman who would make my life a daily test of patience. She was the walking embodiment of the word Karen. I didn't know her name. I didn't need to. She made it very clear from day one that she didn't care about anyone but herself. I first noticed her one Tuesday morning. I was sipping my coffee on a bench near the pond when a loud, sharp whistle echoed through the park. "Benji, come back here!" she screamed. A fluffy Pomeranian bolted across the grass, chasing a group of ducks like it owned the place. She stood there, hands on hips, wearing sunglasses bigger than her face, a loud leopard print jacket, and heels, in a park at 6:30 a.m. She strutted like the world was her runway. The ducks scattered, quacking in panic. The dog splashed into the pond. I saw an elderly man nearly spill his thermos trying to get out of the way. Karen didn't apologize. She didn't even look sorry. She just scoffed, snapped her fingers at the dog, and said loudly, "Ugh! People should really train their animals not to get in Benji's way." It was the first of many such encounters. Over the following weeks, I saw her every day. She parked her shiny silver SUV directly in front of the park entrance, blocking the walkway every single time, even when there were plenty of legal parking spots just a few meters away. She let Benji run without a leash, even though a big sign clearly said, "All dogs must be leashed." She left her coffee cups, snack wrappers, and sometimes even dog poop bags on the ground. When park staff politely told her to clean up, she'd laugh and say, "Oh, please, that's what you're paid for." She'd yell at joggers for getting too close, glare at people sitting on her bench, and once, I swear, she scolded a tree trimmer for making too much noise. But the worst part? She'd play loud pop music on a Bluetooth speaker at 6 a.m., turning my quiet park into her personal dance floor. At first, I tried to ignore it. I wore headphones, changed my walking time, even sat at the far end of the park. But no matter what I did, she'd be there. Louder, ruder, more entitled than ever. She started to recognize me too. Every time she saw me, she gave me this smirk, like she knew she was getting under my skin. One day, I passed by her bench, or at least what she claimed as hers, and she said, "You walk here a lot. You should really go somewhere else. This is kind of our spot." "Our spot?" I asked. "Yeah," she said, waving her perfectly manicured nails. "I like my peace and quiet here, and people walking around is distracting." I was too stunned to even respond. That was the moment I realized she wasn't just annoying. She was the kind of person who believed the world revolved around her. One Sunday morning, my sister came over with her 4-year-old daughter, Mia. Mia loved the park's little playground. She had this tiny pink scooter she'd push around while laughing like she owned the world. We were near the sandbox when Karen showed up, blasting her music as usual. Benji ran straight toward Mia, barking loudly. Mia froze and dropped her scooter. I stepped in front of the dog, trying to shoo it away. Karen walked over, arms crossed. "Excuse me, don't touch my dog." "Then keep your dog on a leash," I snapped. "It's a public park," she said, rolling her eyes. "Benji can go wherever he wants. He's harmless." Tell that to a terrified 4-year-old. Karen knelt down and picked up Mia's scooter, then turned to me with this fake sweet smile. "You know, these things are a tripping hazard. Maybe don't leave them around." She took the scooter and set it far away on the grass. Mia started crying. That was it. I felt something in me snap. All the early morning noise, the trash, the parking, the arrogance, this was the moment it boiled over. I promised myself she would pay for this. Revenge, to be satisfying, needs patience. I didn't want a screaming match. That's what she thrived on. I wanted something that would knock her perfectly arranged world off its axis. So I started observing. I learned her routine. 6 a.m., harumph. She arrived, blocking the entrance. 6:10 a.m., Bluetooth speaker out, pop music on. 6:15 a.m., coffee cup usually left on the bench. 6:30 a.m., dog unleashed, chaos unleashed. 7:30 a.m., she left, leaving trash behind. She also loved taking photos of herself for social media. She'd prop her phone up on a little tripod, strike dramatic poses by the pond, and yell at anyone who accidentally walked into her shot. I also talked to other park regulars, the joggers, the elderly man with the thermos, a mom group that did yoga on the grass. Everyone hated her, but no one wanted to confront her. She's just too loud, one woman sighed. She'll make a scene. She called me a park hobo because I sat on her bench once, another man muttered. So I said quietly, what if someone made her leave on her own? They looked at me like I had just offered them front row tickets to their favorite show. The first thing I did was collect evidence. I started taking discreet videos with my phone. Her parking illegally. Her dog running wild. Her yelling at people. Her leaving trash behind. I wasn't sure exactly what I'd do with it yet, but I knew it would be useful. Next, I befriended the park maintenance team. It wasn't hard. They were kind people who clearly had to deal with her nonsense every day. One of them, an older man named Jim, told me she throws her trash and tells us to be grateful we have jobs. I asked if anyone had ever filed a formal complaint. He shrugged. She's slippery. By the time someone calls it in, she's gone. But with video evidence, it would be different. Then I noticed something else. She often took her little photo shoots right next to the no littering/no off-leash dogs sign. Irony at its finest. I printed out a few flyers with a polite but firm message. Open quote, "This park belongs to everyone. Please respect others by keeping noise down, picking up after your pets, and parking legally." Close quote. I didn't mention her name, but I put up every flyer near the spots she liked to stand. The next morning, I sat at my usual bench and watched. She arrived. She saw the flyers. She read one out loud in a mocking voice. Then she ripped it down. That was good. That meant she knew exactly who it was aimed at. She strutted around, blasting her music even louder than usual, as if to prove a point. But the other park goers were starting to get bolder. Someone walked right into her photo frame without apologizing. A jogger yelled, "Put your dog on a leash, lady!" Little by little, the spell she'd cast over the park was breaking. I decided to use her own vanity against her. She loved her daily Instagram live streams. She'd prop up her phone, start broadcasting her glam mornings, and talk to her followers like she was some sort of celebrity. So one morning, as she started recording, I stood in the background holding a big cardboard sign. Open quote, "This is the park's Karen. Litter queen, parking nightmare, off-leash dog disaster." Close quote. The reaction was immediate. She spun around, face twisting in outrage. "Excuse me. You can't. What are you doing?" Her live stream kept rolling. People watching were commenting, is this real? She really left her trash there last time. Is this the woman who yelled at the yoga group? I didn't say a word. I just smiled. She ended the live stream in a rage. "You're harassing me," she shouted. "No," I said calmly. "I'm standing in a public park, just like you." The park regulars were watching. Nobody defended her. 2 days later, I filed a formal complaint to the city's park authority with all the videos I had collected over the last month. Illegal parking, off-leash dog, noise violations, littering. I wasn't the only one. A few of the other regulars submitted their own complaints too. It turned out she already had 2 prior warnings. This would be the 3rd. The following Monday, a park ranger and a city officer were waiting near the entrance. Karen pulled up, blocking the walkway like always. "Ma'am," the officer said firmly, "you're in violation of city parking regulations." Again. She laughed. "You can't ticket me. I'm just here for a walk." He handed her a citation. Then the ranger added, "Also, leash your dog or leave the park. This is your final warning." For the first time, I saw it. A crack in her confidence. She tried to argue, of course. She yelled, threatened, filmed them on her phone. But they didn't budge. Benji got leashed. Her car got ticketed. And the whole park watched. I thought she'd tone it down after that. I was wrong. The next morning she came again, this time muttering angrily to herself. She parked farther away, but she still blasted her music. But here's the thing. After the officer's visit, the park staff had started enforcing rules strictly. 2 rangers patrolled every morning. They were ready. Karen turned on her music. A ranger walked up within 2 minutes and told her to turn it down. She tried to argue. He wrote her a noise violation. She let Benji off the leash again. Another ticket. Then, she tried to leave the park early, but found out her car had been towed. Apparently, she had accumulated enough unpaid parking tickets that morning to trigger it. She screamed so loudly half the ducks flew away. The rest of us, we pretended to stretch, walk, drink coffee, but inside, we were silently celebrating. The next few days were blissfully quiet. No blaring music, no trash, no barking dog. Karen didn't show up. Later, one of the park staff told me she had been banned for 60 days due to repeated violations. When word spread among the regulars, we actually clapped. Someone brought donuts. The yoga moms joked about putting up a Freedom from Karen banner. The park went back to being what it was meant to be: peaceful. One morning, Mia was back on her pink scooter, laughing as she circled the sandbox. I sat on the bench, sipping my coffee, watching ducks glide across the pond. A jogger passed by and gave me a subtle nod. "You did good." I just smiled. I didn't need to say anything. Revenge doesn't always need to be loud. Sometimes the best revenge is silence after the storm. 2 months later, I saw her again, but not in the park. She was at a nearby parking lot, arguing with a tow truck driver. Apparently, she hadn't learned much about following parking rules. She saw me from across the lot. Her face flushed red. She turned away quickly, clutching Benji under her arm. I didn't approach her. I didn't have to. Karma was doing its job. Sometimes the most annoying things in life aren't massive betrayals or dramatic conflicts. Sometimes it's that one person who slowly chips away at your peace every day until you can't take it anymore. But if you're patient, if you watch, wait, and strike smartly, you can take your peace back. She thought she owned the park. She thought rules didn't apply to her. She was wrong. And now, every time I walk by that bench in the early morning quiet, I smile a little to myself. Because the park is finally ours again. Like and subscribe. Share if this happened to you or someone you know.